Hey y'all, welcome to Papa's Custom Cars. Today I am pulling up the drive shaft and starting to prep for the gas tank. I removed the gas tank yesterday. I'll kind of get into that a little bit more, but right now I'm going to drop this drive shaft. Should have probably dropped it before I pulled the trans out, but we do what we do. So hang on for a little bit. We'll get this gas tank out of the way and we'll get this drive shaft off. Down it, shall we? Okay, one drive shaft out. Put these bolts back in. Because we don't just need to loose those. Always put them back so you don't have to worry about them. So the reason I'm pulling the shaft out is number one, because the trans is out, but because the 700R4 is almost 3 inches longer than the Turbo 350 that was in it. So I'm going to have to send this drive shaft out. I was really worried about the cost. I called around a few places. $60 to cut, $60 to balance, $120, and you got your drive shaft ready to go with a 700R4. They make a kit for the linkage so that you can use a factory linkage. Just adds another detent to it, so that'll definitely help with that. So definitely hold the cost down. While I was under here yesterday, I removed the gas tank. Reason being is coming in with a fuel cell to replace the tank. With the new fuel injection system, there's a bunch of stuff back here I need to do to make it ready. But she's already got the steel lines up to the front. I'm going to leave the steel lines intact because nothing's better than steel. But the trunk floor has to be cut out so that I can drop the fuel cell lower in the trunk than normal, mainly because it's a 20-gallon fuel cell, so it's going to take up a bunch of space if I leave it in the trunk without cutting it out. So I'll show you that here in just a second.
As I was saying, this is that 20-gallon fuel cell. And if I put it in like this, it's going to take up pretty much all of the trunk, especially with the battery on one side. So I'm going to move over. I'm going to cut into this area here so that I can drop the tank down. I'll build a new well in there, nice square one for the tank. And then, of course, I've got the fuel outlets that I've got to run through, and then it'll allow me to completely reconfigure this floor, make it a little bit flatter overall. I am going to end up removing the gas fill neck, and I'm going to end up putting the license plate back up there. So that's kind of what I'm working on today. I just want to drill some pilot holes near the frame, measure out. I'm going to start back here and cut from here forward, and that way I can get the fuel cell back as far as I possibly can. And like I say, I want to reconfigure this floor so that it's flatter and makes more sense. Put in new sheet metal, that type of thing. So that's pretty much all I've got right now. Okay, I didn't have you around for the cutting and hacking, but this is kind of where we ended up with. Got a nice square out of the bottom of the trunk, and I've got my dimensions for my welding. This particular side I'm going to have to move over a little bit because of the shackle right there. It's sticking out just a bit much, so I'll just curve it down past that. Same with all the way to the front. We'll just make a big curve and clear that shackle so that we don't have issues there. And then same with the front. I've got lots of room all the way around it. She's going to be just a little bit offset to the driver's side. But there's my dimensions and my depths and everything for my new plates that I need to put in. But underneath the car, you can see both of the fuel rails sitting there ready for plumbing. That won't have it up so high that it'll catch every bump, but it's low enough to make it matter. It is going to move up just a little bit towards the front of the car. I've got, as you can see, I've got a few extra inches there, so I'm going to end up moving it up so that I can use some more of that space. And that way she's not all the way to the back. But that's the gas tank, and that's where she's going to sit, so I'll bring you back as I'm starting to form it. But yeah, that's all I'm going to do today. It's Sunday, about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to relax a little bit. Got a lot done this weekend. Got the drive shaft out and got everything else finished up. Like and subscribe if you want to hear anything more. You want any details, shoot me a comment, and I'll answer your comments as quick as I can. But yeah, that'll definitely fill up this part of the video. So I figured I'd do one more short video. This is the 700R4 replacing the 3-speed Turbo 350. This is the later model overdrive transmission that they started building in the 80s. It's the same one as you're going to see, the same style as like a 4L, but the 4L 60s are more modern, of course, a lot more features. This particular one's controlled a lot by this TV cable. The pressure of the cable moving back and forth with your throttle is what engages the gears. So if this isn't set up right, you'll fry the transmission. There's also an electronic controller on the other side. And next week, hopefully, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to film the video of pulling the pan and rearranging the electrical so that it uses vacuum, is my understanding. I'll know more about it. It's a TCI kit that I found. It was either at Jags or Amazon or something, one of those. But basically, this will be replacing the Turbo 350 that was in it. This unit, I've been told, only has about 5,000 miles on it. It came out of an older car. Judging from the dirt on it, this is just dirt from sitting. The transmission is relatively clean, so that tells me that it's in pretty good shape. Judging from the fluid that came out of it, it is blood red. So this transmission does not look like it has very many miles on it at all. I was told from the gentleman I bought it from I got it on Facebook Marketplace networking in Utah, in one of the Utah Facebook pages. And he was looking for a Turbo 350, so I ended up getting this transmission. He wanted 1,200 to start with. Of course, we always want more than we can get. But one of these built is $2,300. He said this has been gone through by a gentleman out of the south of Provo area who has passed since then, but he used to do transmissions. I have not decoded the VIN number to know exactly what it came, or the serial number on it to know exactly what it came out of. He was told it came out of a 80s era Caprice, which is fine. Caprice, pickup truck, something of that nature. These are relatively solid transmissions. He said that they did some work to it to add a little bit of beef to it. So I'm hoping that they added a lot of beef to it, because the Nova will put down as much horsepower as you want to turn up the turbos. When I asked you how much horsepower is it, it's like as much horsepower as you can put out of the motor without blowing it apart. I don't plan on doing that to my motor. I have started to drain the fluid out. I just pulled the dipstick, dipped it on an angle to get it to pour most of the fluid out. I do need to unbag the tail shaft. It's still on here, so definitely got to cut the electrical tape off and see how much is in the tail shaft. Give me just a second, and I'll get that cut. Get that out of the way. The difference between the Turbo 350 and this one is about 3 inches. The 700R4 here is going to be about 3 inches longer than the Turbo 350 would be. As you can see, I've got most of the fluid out. I'm going to set that there for now. You've got the same cooler line hookups, one in, one out. Make sure you get them right. Then your TV cable, and like I said, on the other side here, you've got a 4-pin connector. Haven't really read up on a lot of what that does. Your speedometer is over here on this side, just like your normal car. It's not electronic. It doesn't get electronic until, I believe, the 4Ls are all electronic. Same mount. The only difference, again, you're 3 inches back from where the original mount was. So when you bolt this to the Nova's cross member, you can only put in one set of the bolts. So I'll have to make some adjustments there, possibly cut and weld, the brackets so that it just comes up a little bit, and then brace it so that it works well. Pretty simple modifications to do. Next week I got to go pick up some argon for my TIG welder, because I need to start practicing that. But that kind of gives you an overview of the trans that's going in it. It will be so nice, because before, when I would drive down the freeway, she's got probably 308 rear end gears in it, so it's not real bad on the freeway. But when you get up around 70 mile an hour, she's running about 3,500 RPMs. With this, it should take me down to about 2,000 to 2,200, so it'll have a really nice highway cruise speed. So that'll definitely help a lot with fuel mileage. It coupled with the electronic the fuel injection that's going on in the motor will definitely make this a really drivable car. My hope is one day to do the Hot Rod Power Tour or something of that nature. None of the drag and drive events. I don't want to. It's taken me 25 years to get to this point with the Nova, so I really don't want to tear it up. But that's just kind of give you an update on the new tranny. Like I say, next week we're going to drop it, and we're going to install a deep aluminum pan, which I haven't even looked at yet. Let's get this sucker out and see what it looks like. As you saw when I was doing the Turbo 350, I had all the stuff to do the shift kit and all that fun stuff. This one, I'm told, already has one in it. Love it how they put a box in a box. Just because you can never have too many boxes to recycle, right? But opening up this sucker, it's a nice aluminum pan. Let's wiggle her out. Get her out of the box. Always the challenge, right? Tight fit. Oop, throw that over there. Comes with the bolts. They're all Allen head, so that makes it really nice. Also has a drain plug. That's really nice for those of you who ever will work with trannies, also comes with the new gasket. We'll set that in there and let it flatten out. And we'll set that right over here for now. Oop. Nice stainless bolts. I chose a black pan. It's painted black. The only thing I'm going to do to it is shoot blue over the top of it, and then do the same thing with the fins. And so I'll just scuff this up, shoot it blue, along with the transmission being blue, of course, because you got to have the same color as the engine. And then I'll scuff these so that we get the shine again. Got a drain plug for the trans fluid. It is, as you can see, quite a bit deeper, so she'll hold quite a bit more fluid. Tells right on the pan it's for a 700, so that'll definitely add to it. I do have to pick up a filter. They do make a filter for these deeper pans that sits down a little bit lower, so we'll pick one of those up. But that's what's going to go on it. That'll definitely make it really nice, a real nice add. It'll keep it a lot cooler. I do have an external cooler for it. The only thing I'm really wondering now is with the intercooler and the trans cooler and the AC condenser, how much room I'm really going to have up here in the front. So it may end up being mounted remote with a fan. I've got a dual tiny 12-volt fan set that I had on a water cool unit that I can always put on it. So definitely a easier way to go. Put this sucker in there so that it flattens out a little bit more. I always put these in the boxes so that they like throw them in so that they're not laying flat. Kind of makes things rough. You know what? It's going to go in this box. That way I can lay it out. There she goes. Lay it flat. And I'll set this box on top so that it'll completely flatten it out. That way when I'm ready to put it together, I've got a flat gasket I don't have to fight. And she's back in that box. There we go. Put that away. And ta-da. But that's kind of give you an update of what I'm doing here with the new trans. So it'll be really nice having an overdrive. Any questions, just shoot me a note. Please feel free to ask anything. Oh, look, looks like there's a drain right there. I'll have to read up on that. No, I don't think so. It's probably servos or something of that nature. But yeah, the pan has no drain. So having a drain on the pan will be nice. But that's kind of give you a little bit of an update, let you know what's going on. Like I say, we'll probably start tearing into this next week, depending upon how much time we have. I've already drained the converter. Always want to put new fluid in it. If you're going through the trouble, do what you need to do to make it all good. But that's all I have for you today. That's the end of my videos for this weekend. We'll hopefully get some in next weekend. There's definitely going to be one, I believe, building a waterbed. And then as life progresses, I'll tell you how good it is for your back when you get old. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, please. Need as many subscribers as I can get on my channel. We're going to start getting heavy into the build now, and the modifications in the trunk to put in the fuel cell. So look forward to next time. Thanks for stopping by Papa's Custom Cars.